Hey everybody. I often have people ask me the question, what do I do at the start of a project? And of course the answer is, well, it depends on what the project's about. What I put together in this lesson is just some information about what kind of information do you need to look for based on the kind of project you're working on. So what I've done is I've made some categories of projects, and I said, okay, for this category of project, typically the information you need is this kind of information. And then I've given some examples of actual projects so you can see how that applies in context in a real project. Now, this is guidelines, so I don't want you to take this and say, Jerry said this is the only information that I need for this project. No. So what I've given you is some guidelines, a starting point, a way to think about your project. Any particular project, you may find other things that you need to know. Plus, all I'm putting here is the starting point. I'm not giving you every kind of requirement you're ever going to need on that project, because for a lot of projects you're going to need every kind of requirement over time. But what I want to give you is where to start. What's the important information that you need to start with to get the project going, and as you work on the project you're going to find the additional information that you need to collect. Okay, so with that caveat, I want to show you some sample projects, and here I put a little table of contents so you can see what's in here. I've categorized the projects three different ways. Corporate internal projects, so that's your typical IT kind of project. Creating a product for sale. We're going to look at things in a little different way when we're creating products that we're going to sell to someone else than if we're doing a project inside the company. And then the third category I made was business process projects, because again those are going to look pretty different from the other two. And then under each category I have several different kinds of projects. So under corporate internal we're going to look at maintaining existing software, installing third-party software, updating third-party software, and creating new software. If we're creating a product for sale, we'll look at maintaining an existing product, creating a new product in an existing line of business, and creating all new software. And then finally, under business process projects, we have write the business processes for a new company, change or add a business goal or corporate direction, and update a business process. So again, these aren't every possible kind of project you could ever be involved with, but I think it gives a nice overview of pretty typical projects that we're involved with as business analysts. Create a new product in an existing line of business. So many companies that sell products have multiple versions of a product, like the home edition versus the professional edition. So we're going to create a new version of an existing product. And for this kind of project, what you need to know is what product are we basing the new one on, who's going to use the new version, and what new features will the new version have, or what features will be removed from the new version. So we already have something, we're just going to make a new version of it. So here's an example project. A company sells a high-end UML software modeling tool, and many customers have requested a free reader for the models. This would be software that displays the models but does not allow updates. So you need to know exactly what of the current functionality of the tool will be available in the new product. Basically, it's a feature list. This reader would be used by project stakeholders who need to review the models but who should not be changing the models. You need to know if there are other potential users of this free reader, and your requirement type will be actors. Our customers want this tool so they do not have to pay for a license for someone who is only sometimes reviewing the models. You need to know if the product will be bundled without a license, or if you're going to have some kind of a licensing scheme, which might, can still be free, but you might still require people to get a license, or you're going to require people to register the reader. And so what are the requirements here around licensing, registration, especially for something that's going to be free? Your requirement type may be business rules, features, or technical constraints. Finally, the new tool will open and display models. It'll allow the viewer to pan and zoom the models. The models cannot be edited, printed, or copied. So you need to determine if this is the complete set of features which will be supported in the free model, and your requirement type here will be a feature list. Okay. So that one's pretty easy, right? We already have a product, we're going to make a new product, and all we have to do is talk about the differences. Not too bad. Thank you for listening.